Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Can you guys, I'm live. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. All right, excellent. Excellent. Let me adjust my screen a little bit. All right. Okay, so you guys know what today is. Today is the day we're going to do live trade. So for everybody that did the like, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. I haven't done a live in a long time, and so I want to make sure that everything's looking good. It looks like we got some people on. So with that being said, make sure that you guys can hear me. Hit that like button, and I can see those likes coming up to make sure that you guys can hear me. I guess it's a slight delay from what I hear. A slight delay on the stream. Okay, I see someone says, let's go. All right. Make sure I turn off my phone. It's always going off like a crazy person. All right. Okay, well, so this is the strategy that kicks off at 10 o'clock. Kicks off at 10:30. And remember, how many of you saw the video? The sound is a little low. Let me see if I can adjust that. Thanks. Audio. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Audio capture. All right, I'll try to talk into the mic. All right, so how many of you all saw the other video that I had done about the live strategy? Again, I did that, and so I decided to do this live because I got a really good feedback, right? And so it was actually, let me show you the video. If you guys hadn't got a chance to check it out, I'll show you. You can watch it later to get this actual strategy on the trade. But it was, let's go to let me go to my channel. All right, so if we go to my channel here, which is right here, you guys can see that this was it, right? Easy SPY day trading strategy anyone can try today. All right, so I had said in the video, hey, if you guys hit 1,000 likes, I'll do a live training. And let's take a look at it. Targets are too high. You can see we actually got 1.1. So, hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate everybody who participated. So that was that. And so now, if you need help with the strategy, I'm going to go and teach it here too today because we're going to take it live. That actually made it worse. Okay, how about this? How about now? Does this audio sound better now? Audio check. Audio check. Audio check. Sorry. Well, if there's a little bit of a delay, we'll let people tell me. So anyways, sound is low still. Oh, way better. Okay. Thank you. See, this is the power of doing live training. All right, so this is my chart right here. All right, we're going to go into the strategy on how it works, okay? So the first thing I want everyone to be aware of is that this is a back-tested strategy that I learned a good bit ago. And what I learned was that if the market opens up, most of the time it will be up. All right, most of the time it will be up at the end of the day. And the stats are around 82% of the time with the S&P 500. Now, the problem with that is, how do you actually profit from it? Could you buy shares? Yes, you could buy shares. But even then, just because it's a green day, so these are daily candles. And so we're getting close to the first hour here because it opened an hour ago, but these are green candles. You got a green. Just because it opens green doesn't mean that after 10:30 it's higher, right? So like we could use yesterday as an example. I'm going to drop it down to a 15-minute chart and we'll look at yesterday. So we're going to go to 15-minute. So this was yesterday. So after the first hour, it was right here. But just because it's a green day, because here was the open, doesn't mean that it's going to be above the price on the close. Because it could go green and still be a little bit lower than the close, and so you make that trade and still lose money, right? So that's kind of the problem. So yesterday was a great day. I did the trade. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4 candles on the 15-minute. Right here is the 15. So right here's where it opened. And you can see by the end of the day, it opened after an hour at 6,682. And by the end of the day, it was 6,705. All right. And so with that being said, it was a winning trade yesterday. Okay. Actually, it was pretty fast. I got in and it took off right away and I was out by 12:30. And today I'm going to trade this live. I'm going to talk about the entry, but I'm not going to stick around and wait for the trade to hit the target just because I have another training for my paid customers later, which is going to be like insanely awesome. Not that this isn't insanely awesome, because this is insanely awesome too, guys. But you get the idea. It's starting now, Ishagaboo. We've already started 15 minutes ago. I thought you were here. Yeah, it's starting right now. If you see my lips moving, we're starting. Again, this is why I love live training. It's so awesome. All right, so today, let's talk about today. Well, we're not going to talk about today because I got a lot of time. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Chuck, for the comment. I don't know what happened. I had the settings on my mic wrong. All right, so the strategy is very simple. We're going to count out our 15-minute candles, and I used 1 hourly candle, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and then this is the start right here. That's 10:30. Okay, so 10:30, we enter the trade. Not necessarily. Oh, don't be sorry. And you know what? Don't be sorry. I love comments, but listen, feeding cats is really important. Okay. It can even be as important as taking your trade, because I have a cat at my house that is like 21 years old. And if she does not get fed on time, the whole world will stop. No joke. I should take a video and send you guys. It is not a pretty thing. But, we got a 21-year-old grumpy cat who everyone worships. It's pretty funny. All right. Anyways, back to the strategy. This is why I like live, because it's so easy for me to get distracted. Back to the strategy. So I'm looking for the direction from the open after the first hour, right? And so in this case, we're actually pretty close, because you can see right here, we're open at, it looks to be about 6,000. Well, I can look at it by looking at this here. It says the open was today 6,691. All right, and it's currently trading at 6,694. So we're currently up. So if it closes where we're at, we're going to be looking for an up trade. But you'll notice that we're below the 10 EMA, so it could go either way still. We got 6 minutes to go. Now, that's as simple as I can get. If it's higher after the first hour, we're looking for buy trades. If it's lower after the first hour, we're looking for sell trades. It's really that simple. All right, now, one of the other things that I want to mention here is that we must take into consideration a couple of things. This strategy is 82% back tested, but it really depends. That changes based off of the current. It changes based off of the current trend, right? So right now the buy trades are roughly 82%, and the sell trades are in the 70s, like 72%. Right? Because why? Because we're in a much stronger market. As a matter of fact, though, the sell trades have been stronger over the last couple weeks, and I've been taking those sell trades. So let's look at the daily and kind of get an idea of where we're at with our trend. So right now, we're above the 50 and we're above the 10. So that's pretty much a clear indication that the up move is stronger. We kind of broke through a trend line yesterday. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. So today, a really key level is going to be yesterday's high, right? And that would be right there. Right there. So that's very important. And yesterday's high is going to be very important. 6,700. It looks like 6,716 was yesterday's high. All right. So we definitely want to see that break. Not that it's going to be a requirement for me to take the trade, but it will just really give you an indication of the bullish momentum that is coming. And it looks like it's starting to get bullish right now with about 1 minute to go. All right. So now that we have this in place, we want to go to a 1 minute time frame. Right? And what do I look for on the 1 minute? So I'm basically saying it opened at 6,696. So we're actually looking for a buy, right? We're looking for a buy because we got a minute to go. I'm going to say that it made the move. Let's just see. We're looking for buy trades. All right. Now, with that being said, I need the RSI to drop down before entering. All right. I need the RSI to drop down. So here's the RSI. I like it to go before 50. So we already got the drop here. So I will count that. Okay. We got the drop of the RSI and across above the moving average. We got that, this 10 period. So I need price to drop below and I need it to go below. So we got both of those and now we're starting to break out. So for me, this is a totally easy to go trade. So I'm going to go ahead now and look for the option trade. So a couple things I want to talk about before we actually get into a trade. So right here is the expirations. Okay. And so it's the option chain. It shows the expiration and I'm on NVIDIA and that's why I couldn't find the day. So let's do SPY, right? So here we go. SPY, we're going to pull it up. And, so these are the different expirations. 0 days, 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, right here where these numbers in parentheses, these are the expirations. And whatever broker platform you use, it's a little bit different, so I can't really give you instructions on the other ones. I did actually have a broker reach out to me that I'm testing now, another one, and I put the link in the description and people can get free trades, free stocks if they want to open a new account and like deposit $100. They said, hey, share this. We'll give you a free stock and they can get a free stock. So I'm trying that out. So if you guys want to try that out, let me know. But anyways, these are the expirations. So for this particular trade, we're trying to get paid every day. So we're going to go 0, right? So we're going to go 0. Now, over on this side, we have the calls. And I'm like, I'm sitting here teaching when I could be trading. So just be patient with me, right? Be patient. The market isn't going anywhere. And even if I'm a little late on the trade, we don't need to do FOMO, right? We don't have to be like, I got to make that money and I got to make it now. I got to make it today. We don't need to do that. We can be patient. The market is always going to be here until something really crazy happens. Okay. But anyways, this side is the calls. All right. So what that means is with this type of strategy, I'm going to be doing either a bearish call spread or a bullish put spread. So if I think the stock is going to go down, I'm going to do a spread over here on this side. If I think that at the end of the day the stock is going to go up, I'm going to do a trade on this side. All right. And so we'll go to the chart here and show how it looks. So on the chart, if I think that price is going down, I'm going to sell my spread above a level where I don't think price is going to go. So if I think it's going to be a down day, 67.15, I think it's going to stay below that based off of the strategy. If it opens red, it's going down. If it opens green, it's going up. But we're going to just assume that it's going down. We're going to sell a bear call spread. Okay, and we're going to do that if we think it's going to go down, and we do it above the current price. So that's on that side. And by the way, I am missing out on the trade. I would have taken it right on the open, and I've already missed about $10. I might have been out of it. But again, it doesn't matter. We're being patient. Okay, I have to teach this before I just jump in and trade, because then everybody's going to be lost and they're going to be like, what's going on? I'm not doing that to you guys. All right, so then if we think it's going to go up, we do what is called the bull spread, the bull put spread. Okay, now what does that mean? Well, it means that we're going to place the spread below the current price where we think that price will not go. So now I'm going to show you two examples on the option chain. So once we get a feel for the price on the chart, we can use the option chain. And you don't necessarily even need to go to the charts. You can do all of this from the option chain, but I want you to get a visual because it helps you to understand. The reason you don't need to go to the charts is because you can see. So you can see based off of some of these numbers, which I'll show you. So the current price, we always want to know that, $669. Now, these here are prices. You see these prices there. What are they? They are below current price. They're below current price. And every option chain is different. Some of them have them below and some of them have them above. And you can, I think with this broker, I can actually flip it, but I forget how to do that. And I probably should, because it's just kind of weird to me. But anyways, these are below. Okay. So, and then these are above, right? So if I'm expecting price to go up, if I'm expecting price to go up, I want to choose something that is below. I want to choose something that is below. If I'm expecting price to go down, I want to choose something that is above, right? So we're over here is the bear call spread if you think price is going down. Over here is the bull put spread if you think price is going up. Now, I want to make sure that everyone understands that. So if you understand it, hit the like button or leave a comment telling me that you understand or telling me that you don't understand. I want to see some engagement here so that I can make sure that I'm being clear, because if I'm not clear, then what's the point of all this? All right. So, no feedback yet. I know there's a delay, so I will continue to teach while I'm waiting. All right. Now, the next thing that's really important is that you got to understand, I'm not promising any type of returns. Trading is risky. This is for educational purposes only. And that's just how it is in the market. You've got to be aware of that. All right. You've got to be aware of that price, this isn't a game, right? It is a game, but it's not a game because it's real money. And I don't know how you handle this stuff. I don't know your mindset. I know some people that they go in and they lose $1, they get depressed and it makes them act crazy. I know some people, doesn't bother them, right? So you got to know who you are. I know some people are in here and they're like stressed out and they need money and they need it now. And they're wanting to watch this because they want to get money and it's going to solve all their problems. Well, the problem is that you don't know how to manage your money and you need to learn how to manage your money. Because if you win the lottery, it's not going to help you because you're going to be in the same situation you were in before, right? You gotta have a plan with this stuff. This isn't just for emotions and fun. All right, I'm getting lots of comments saying people are liking it. Good. All right, yeah, and you guys can hit that heart button too, guys. I saw a little heart thing go up. All right, good. We're getting some likes too. Good. Thank you. All right, so what I'm saying all this to say we have to manage our risk. And with this type of a strategy, you can risk your entire account in one trade, right? So let's just say you got a $10,000 account. You could actually trade that entire $10,000 in one trade. And then if you lose that trade, everything would be gone. Everything wiped out, crashed, gone, bonkers, totally gonzo. Okay? Absolutely gone. Now, I know what some people have tried. They're saying, well, if this is an 80-some% winning rate and I can hit a winning streak, I can grow my account really fast. And that's true. You can. You absolutely can. You could use margin, which is trading with money you don't have. You could risk everything on one trade, and you could make $5,000 a day, right? You could absolutely do that, right? However, you can make $5,000 a day. But then you do that, and then eventually you're going to lose one, and you're going to lose $100,000 in a day. And you're going to lose everything and you're going to be done. So if you're trading 5,000, making 5,000 a day, and then all of a sudden you take the big loss and you lose 100K in a day, you're done. You're absolutely done. Okay, so what you need to do is, if you're going to do this strategy, is you absolutely must manage your risk. And so I recommend so the first thing you need to know is that with day trading, you can only trade 3 day trades. Okay, you can only do 3 day trades if you have less than 25,000. 3. Okay, so you can do this 3 times a week. Open and close it 3 times a week if you have less than 25,000. If you have more than 25,000, there's no limit. You can do it every day. All right. So that's one thing you need to be aware of. Someone had told me, but I did not verify it, but that is, if you're doing this on futures, you can, and I'm going to go over the different contracts, guys, in a minute. But they say if you do it on futures, you can day trade. But I have not verified that. I will do that at some point. I just have been extremely occupied in trading and also in teaching, because I have course, and I'm teaching my members. And, I'm actually teaching my members on how to trade in only an hour a week, not day trading, because I want us to be financially free, but I also want us to have time freedom and to only trade an hour a week. There's no reason to be glued to your charts and working around the clock if you don't have to. Go out and do the things that you want to do, which maybe you want to sit in front of charts all day. If you have no friends, maybe this is the perfect thing for you. Okay? But I have a lot of friends. All right. Now, as I was saying, so if you have, I'm just going to use a $10,000 account. I recommend that you only risk anywhere from 100 to 300 per trade. 100 to 300 per trade. All right. So with that being the case, you might say, well, that's not a lot of money, because if you're risking 300, we'll just use 300, that's 3% of your account. If you're risking 300, the way that I'm doing this trade is you're possibly going to make like $75. Okay, and I'll get into all that. But it's like, okay, well, why am I going to risk $300 to make $75? And only $75 isn't going to change my life. Well, you have to think a little bit more big picture than that, right? You got to think a little bit more big picture than that. So let me explain. If we look at that, if you have a $10,000 account, 1% is $100. If you make $75 on that, that's just under 1%. But if you do that in 3 weeks, 3 times a week, 75 times 3, you're looking at $225. That's 2.25% a week. 2% a week. Well, 2% a week will change your life if you do that every week. It will absolutely change your life. It's all about consistency. And this is not like, I'm not saying to scalp this in and out 100 times. I'm saying we're just going to take one trade a day. Okay, so I was really hammering the money management section because it's so important, because the max you're going to lose is 3%, right? So if you have a smaller account, if you're less than 10,000, the smallest trade you can do on this is $100. So what I recommend is if you have $1,000, I would recommend that you do one trade, perhaps a week, or you maybe look at a safer system, which is one of the ones I'm teaching my members, which is a cash secured put system. Or you add money to your account on a weekly basis, which is one of the really big game changers for me. Is I had added money to my account when I first started, and actually I still do, because it absolutely helps you grow your account faster, and it teaches you to live off of less than what you make, right? That's an absolute critical, it's a critical thing to learn, and that's not what this is all about. This is about trading and daily strategy, but I want you to know it's a critical habit to learn, because if you don't learn that, you are on the path for financial ruin. If you learn it, you're on a path to financial health. If you take a small portion of what you earn in whatever you're doing and you apply that to the market, you apply it to a business, you apply it to investing, real estate, options, stocks, creating some kind of wealth, that's how you get ahead in life, not by spending everything that you make. If you look at a farmer, they don't eat all of their seed when they make a profit. They have to reinvest seed to put back into the ground. Okay? We must do that. We must. It's absolutely critical. And most of us was never taught that, or we didn't understand that concept, or it's just really hard to live because prices are expensive. And I get that. Everything's expensive now. All right. So let's jump to the strategy. Let me go into the different types of instruments. Okay, so we have the SPY, and somebody said, why do you want to do the SPY? Well, the first reason is because it is the lowest cost option, right? Because let's look at the chart first. No, we'll look at this first. SPY is the lowest cost. Well, we'll see. I'm going to try a couple different options, and we're going to find out. So we'll take a look here. I'm not going to look at the chart yet, but I'm going to take a look at we'll look at 669, 668. It's a bull put spread. All right, we're going to look at that one. So what we do is we're going to sell the put on the 669, and we're going to buy the 668. That gives us roughly a 20. I'm going to go for 20. We'll do 25-cent credit. Okay, that's good. And so here we go, right? And it will bring up how much you'll get. So you'll get $26, okay? $26, and the max loss is 74 because it's 26 minus 74. It costs $100, right? It costs 100, but the max you can lose is 74. All right, so that's why I choose the SPY, because you can do a $1 spread. $1 spread, it only costs 100. And remember earlier when I said 3 contracts, or I said 300? So let's edit this and let's bump this up to 3. And look, there it is, $78. So we're going to make 78. All right, and we're going to make 78, but our max loss is 222, and the difference is it's a total of 300 is our risk. Remember I said 3%? So that's why I start with the SPY. But if we look at this particular trade, what is the return that we're getting? That's always an important thing to note, is our return. Okay, and so what we want to look at is 300 times 0.03. We're risking 300, so a 3% return is 9. All right, so on this, 300 times 0.1 is 30. Okay, so it's more than 10%. 300 times 0.3. 90. Okay, so it's less than 30%, more than 10. It's probably around 25% ROI. 300 times 0.25. 75. So it's over 25%, right? That's great return on your capital, right? That's really good, 25%. However, I'm not going to stick around for the whole trade. I am going to take profit after this at roughly, well, 25% of the profit or 50%. And it really depends on the price action. But a lot of times I'll just put it in at 25%. I'll go in and out and I'll be done. I'll just take the order, get out, and be done. So if my credit is 25, 50% of 25, you cut that in half, would be like, I don't even know what that would be. Let me get my calculator back. 12.5, right? 12.5. 12.5 times 225. All right. There you go. Okay. So with that being said, I might just go for a 50% target. Now, let's take a look at some of the other instruments. So we also have SPX. Now the SPX, on the other hand, is going to give us more credit. It costs a little more. Now, the difference between the SPX is you're trading the actual index. You're trading, I think the SPX is the index options or the index futures option versus the ETF. The SPY is the ETF. So that's the difference. All right. And I saw someone saying, when is the day trading rule changed? I don't know, and I don't know any of the details either. There's a lot of details about that, and I don't know what those will be. All right, now, when we're doing this, we want to, I like to go to the 0.3 as I taught in my video. And by the way, if you need to go back to review that, you can. And if you like this better than the video, let me know. Hit the like button if you think this is better training. All right, so we're going to go for the 0.3. We're going to go 669 versus the 665 or 685. So we're going to try that. All right, so we're going to go sell. Okay, we're going to sell that, and then we're going to buy the other side. All right, now, that's $1.20 credit. So we're going to put the order up. So in this case, look at the ROI here. What we're going to pull the calculator up. We're going to do the ROI. We got the total risk is 500. And why is it 500? Well, because it's a $5 spread versus a $1 spread. That's the difference. So it's 500. So if you have a bigger account, you can do this. If you don't, it's not going to benefit you as much. But you're going to risk 500 or it costs 500, but your max loss is 380 and your gain here is 120. So what would be the return, right? So we go, if we're investing 500 times 0.25, it's 125. So it's a little bit less return than the SPY. Now, obviously, the price has changed a little bit, so that can be a factor, but you get the idea. So it's pretty close to the same because the other one was 26% and this is a little under 25%. So it's pretty much the same. All right, now there's another one, which is the mini S&P, and that's the XSP. XSP, it's the mini. Okay, so we're going to try the mini. Just different ideas to see. This one, again, even though it's a mini, it's cheaper, right? So we're going to do this one, the mini. So we're going to do the same pricing here as the SPY, and we're going to compare. So it's 23 cents. Let's do the 3 contracts just so we get the same comparison, the 300. And this is going to be very similar. Now, in this case, your max loss is 225, profit 75. The difference is pretty much the same. The only difference here is it doesn't cost as much, right? The buying power is 55. It only takes you 55 instead of the 300, but your loss is the same. So you don't need as much buying power, but the risk is the same. So to me, buying power doesn't really matter that much. Why? Because one of the things that I'm trying to explain to people is I'm never, ever, ever using up all my buying power. I keep my account extremely safe at all times, and I only use a small percentage of my account. You don't need to use the whole thing because if you do, you're going to get yourself into trouble, right? So really the difference between the SPY and the XPS isn't much. There could be some commissions difference, some volume differences, but I didn't really, the commissions are pretty close to the same. Not much difference, really. Not much. All right, now let's keep going. Let's take a look at the futures contrast. The futures contract, and that is the /ES. And there's one more I'm going to go over, and then we'll take the trade. Actually, Actually, I lost track of time. We'll do this pretty quick. So let's do the futures. Futures. All right, we're going to do the same thing, right? We're going to do the exact same on the futures. And what is it? It's $1.15 credit. And the max loss is $192. And the max profit is $57. It's a $57 credit. So again, that's pretty good. Pretty good return. And there's not a huge difference though. Buying power is pretty heavy. So really, it's just, you just got to try different things and learn different things. But for this example, we're going to do the SPY. Let's take a look and see if the trade's going to set up for us. And it actually setting up perfectly, right? So we had a nice dip. We're now crossing. Did we go below the 50? This is, man, it couldn't have worked any better. So now we're going to go ahead and do this. It's crossing, and we're going to make the trade. So we're going to go to the SPY. Delete that. And we're going to make the trade, okay? So here we go. And remember, this is educational purposes only. It is what it is. All right, so I'm going to do the 30 delta. So I'm going to do the 668, the 667, and we're going to do, I'm going to bump the credit a little bit. See if I can get filled. We'll confirm it. And so there we go. We're going for a $24 credit, the 668 at the 669. Or wait, no. It is the, where is the, it's the 668, 667, right? And so then we're going to put that order in. And then what I'm going to do, I want to make sure here, what I got to make sure is, we're going to just close this for a second, is to go to the chart. Once you enter the trade, you want to put a take profit in immediately, which means just create a closing order, create closing order. All right, create a closing order, and then you will put that in for 0.15, just about a 10-cent profit, right? So you want to do that right away. All right, so that is the trade. That's the education. I hope you loved it. Leave a comment, leave a suggestion. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to do it again, let me know. But I really thank you for your time today. Click that like button. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you guys later.